Welcome to the world of liberty, United States of America, one dime. A small silver treasure hiding big secrets. From rare mint errors to collector-grade gems, this humble dime could flip your fortune overnight. Stick around as we reveal what makes this coin a must-watch in the world of numismatics. Welcome to the world of liberty, United States of America, one dime. A small silver treasure hiding big secrets. From rare mint errors to collector-grade gems, this humble dime could flip your fortune overnight. Stick around as we reveal what makes this coin a must-watch in the world of numismatics. Welcome to the world of liberty, United States of America, one dime. A small silver treasure hiding big secrets. From rare mint errors to collector-grade gems, this Absolutely. Here's a long, detailed paragraph-style explanation of the 1988 United States Roosevelt dime featuring Liberty and God We Trust, United States of America, and the Elizabeth II DG Reg FD part you've noted, which belongs to UK coins, so it seems to be a mix-up wheel. Focus on the US coin here. This piece is perfect for numismatists, educators, or long-form YouTube video scripts. The 1988 United States Roosevelt dime, with the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and one dime. It's one of the most widely circulated pieces of U.S. coinage and represents a continuation of the design introduced in 1946 following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. This coin belongs to a lineage of modern dimes, struck by the United States Mint, and continues to hold both monetary and historical value. The obverse of the coin features a left-facing portrait of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, designed by John Arsenic, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. His initials JS appear at the base of Roosevelt's neck. Above Roosevelt's head is the bold, patriotic word, Liberty, and to the left side, the national motto, In God We Trust, is inscribed, reinforcing American values that have appeared on coinage since the Civil War era. Below Roosevelt's neckline is the year of minting, 1988. To its right is the mint mark P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or no mark for proof coins from San Francisco. These marks tell collectors where the coin was made and help identify varieties. The reverse of the 1988 Roosevelt dime features a classically American trio of symbols. A torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left representing peace, and an oak branch on the right symbolizing strength and independence. These three elements come together to express the ideals upon which the United States was founded. Wrapped around this design is the inscription United States of America across the top rim. The Latin phrase E Pluribus Unum, out of many, one just above the branches and torch, and the denomination one dime curved along the bottom edge. The word dime originates from the Latin word decimus, meaning tenth. Since the coin is 1/10 of a US dollar, the design has changed very little since 1946, making the Roosevelt dime one of the longest-running coin designs in active US circulation and a cornerstone of American small change. In terms of specifications, the 1988 Roosevelt dime is a clad coin, meaning it has a core of pure copper surrounded by outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel. This composition was introduced in 1965 to replace the 90% silver dimes that had previously been issued, as the rising cost of silver made it too expensive for mass use in circulating coinage. The clad dime has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, a thickness of 1.35 millimeters, and weighs 2.27 grams. Its reeded edge, the small grooves along the side, makes it harder to counterfeit, and also helps the visually impaired distinguish between denominations by touch. While this may seem like a small coin with a small face value, the Roosevelt dime has played a huge role in commerce. Vending machines, toll booths, and public transportation throughout the late 20th century. The mintages for the 1988 Roosevelt dime were extremely high, as is typical for modern American coinage. The Philadelphia Mint P produced over 1.03 billion dimes, while the Denver Mint D issued around 1.05 billion. This makes the 1988 dime very common in circulated condition, and most examples found in everyday pocket change are only worth their face value in cents. However, for collectors, the coin's value can rise depending on condition, strike quality, and rarity of errors. Coins graded mint state MS65 or higher by third-party grading services such as PCGS or NGC can fetch modest premiums, especially if they exhibit full bands FB on the torch. This means the horizontal lines on the torch are sharply struck and fully visible, which is a desirable feature for Roosevelt dime collectors. In high grades with full bands, 1988 dimes may be worth $5 to $15, and even higher for top population specimens. Some collectors seek out proof versions of the 1988 dime, struck at the San Francisco Mint S. These were not made for circulation, but sold in proof sets to collectors. Proof coins are struck using specially prepared dies and blanks, giving them mirror-like surfaces and sharper details. A 1988S Roosevelt dime, in its original packaging, can sell for $1 to $3, and in high-grade PR70 Deep Cameo DC AM condition, it can be worth $10 or more, depending on market trends. Also of interest to advanced collectors are any known mint errors or varieties, for example, off-center strikes, clipped planchettes, or doubled dies. Though these are relatively rare for 1988, if you happen to find one of these, especially in good condition, the coin could be worth significantly more to error specialists. Although the Roosevelt dime doesn't often receive the same fanfare as commemorative issues or higher denomination coins, it holds a crucial role in both numismatic, history, and daily American life. Roosevelt's appearance on the dime was meant to honor his legacy, particularly his role in founding the March of Dimes, a campaign that originally raised money to fight polio disease Roosevelt himself famously battled. The 1988 dime continues this legacy, quietly serving in commerce while honoring one of America's most influential presidents. Moreover, the coin is a snapshot of late 20th century America, produced during the final years of the Cold War, the Reagan presidency, and a period of economic transition, when the coin was part of countless everyday transactions. In summary, the 1988 Roosevelt dime is a small yet important coin, common in circulation, modest in face value, but rich in history and symbolism. It represents the enduring design and values of post-war American coinage. It's a coin that most people overlook, but for collectors, historians, and everyday Americans alike, it carries a deeper message of liberty, unity, strength, and service. Whether found in a proof set, tucked away in a coin jar, certainly, here's a long-form, depth paragraph-style explanation of the 1997 Liberty, United States of America. 1 dime, Roosevelt dime, covering its full historical, physical, numismatic, and symbolic details. Perfect for 10 minutes of engaging reading, narration, or a YouTube voiceover script. The 1997 Roosevelt dime, bearing the inscriptions, "Liberty in God We Trust, United States of America, e pluribus unum," in 1 dime is part of a long-running and iconic series of US coins that continues to honor the legacy of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Designed by John R. Sinnock, then chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, shortly after Roosevelt's death in 1945, as a tribute to his immense leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, and especially his founding of the March of Dimes, a campaign to combat polio. The 1997 dime continues this legacy, representing a coin that is small in size but immense in cultural, monetary, and historical significance. On the obverse, Roosevelt is depicted in profile, facing left, his likeness showing strength and character with firm, clean lines. Above his head is the powerful word, liberty, anchoring the values of the United States. To the left, along his neckline sits the national motto, "In God We Trust," which has been a standard on U.S. coinage since 1864, and below that is the year 1997, with a mint mark to its right, either P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco on proof coins. At the base of Roosevelt's neck are the small but often misunderstood initials JS, which stand for John Sinak. Not Joseph Stalin, as was falsely rumored during the Red Scare era of the 1950s, the reverse side of the 1997 Roosevelt dime, is rich in classical symbolism. The center is a torch, representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left, symbolizing peace, and an oak branch on the right, symbolizing strength, endurance, and independence. These three elements are not just decorative, they reflect foundational American ideals. Encircling the reverse design is the text United States of America and one dime at the bottom, while the phrase e pluribus, unum Latin, four out of many, one, is inscribed just above the torch, reinforcing the concept of national unity through diversity. The simplicity of the dime's reverse design, coupled with its timeless themes, has made it one of the most enduring images in American numismatics. The design has remained largely unchanged since 1946, a testament to its power and acceptance among the American public in terms of technical specifications. The 1997 Roosevelt dime was struck in the modern clad composition, introduced in 1965 to replace the earlier 90% silver version. This clad coin consists of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. It weighs 2.27 grams, has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.35 millimeters, and features a reeded edge with 118 ridges. This edge texture serves not only as a counterfeit deterrent, but also as a tactile identifier for the visually impaired. Despite the elimination of silver decades earlier, the Roosevelt dime retained its color and form, helping to ensure a smooth transition from precious to base metals. The 1997 clad version remains non-magnetic and corrosion-resistant, making it ideal for long-term circulation. The mintage numbers for 1997 were quite high, reflecting the coin's essential role in U.S. commerce. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 1.2 billion dimes, while the Denver Mint produced over 1.3 billion, making the 1997 Roosevelt dime extremely common in circulated condition. Additionally, the San Francisco Mint issued proof coins for collectors, featuring deep mirror-like fields and frosted devices, all struck with precision on polished planchettes. These proof dimes are found in 1997's proof sets and are distinguishable by their sharp SDS. While most circulated 1997 dimes are worth only face valued in cents in circulated or high-grade examples, especially those with full band's FB designation on the reverse torch, can command $3 to $15 depending on condition and certification. By grading companies such as PCGS or NGC, full bands refers to the complete horizontal lines across the torch's center, indicating a well-struck coin, a feature prized by collectors of the Roosevelt dime series. In terms of numismatic importance, the 1997 Roosevelt dime is not especially rare or valuable on its own, but it plays a vital role in Datron collections, modern coin sets, and educational kits. For those building complete series from 1946 to the present, or those focusing on the Cladera subset, 1997 is a must-have year. It also represents a cultural snapshot of late 1990s America time of relative economic prosperity, the end of the Cold War era, and the beginning of the tech-driven globalization phase. Though not marked by political upheaval or commemorative status, the coin circulated during the Clinton administration and was part of everyday American life, from vending machines to payphones, lunch counters, toll booths, and savings jars. Furthermore, collectors occasionally encounter mint errors on 1997 dimes, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, broad strikes, or clipped planchettes. While rare, these error coins can increase significantly in value, sometimes selling for $50 to several $100. Depending on the severity and visibility of the mistake, error coins appealed not only to advanced collectors, but also to casual enthusiasts fascinated by the unpredictable nature of minting anomalies. The 1997 Roosevelt dime also holds educational value. It's frequently used in classrooms and coin club activities to teach children and new collectors about U.S. coin anatomy, coin composition, mint marks, and the broader history of 20th century presidents, it provides a tactile and visual link to President Roosevelt's legacy, his work in leading the nation through crisis and founding the March of Dimes, a charity that originally targeted polio, but continues to support maternal and infant health today. Thus, even though the 1997 dime is common in pockets, purses, and coin rolls, its story is rich and enduring. In summary, the 1997 Roosevelt dime stands as a durable symbol of American values: liberty, strength, unity, and service. It may not carry precious metal or headline-grabbing rarity. It is a workhorse coin that continues to serve its country over 20. Absolutely. Here's a long-form, detailed paragraph-style explanation of the 1969 United States Roosevelt dime. It's featuring all the important numismatic, historical, and physical aspects of the coin. Perfect for a deep 10-minute reader. YouTube. Narration script. The 1969 Roosevelt dime, bearing the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, United States of America, E pluribus unum, and one dime. It stands as a powerful, yet often overlooked piece of mid-20th century American coinage. At first glance, it appears similar to most Roosevelt dimes issued since 1946. Yet the 1969 version, especially those struck at San Francisco's Mint, holds specific interest for collectors due to its place in the era's numismatic and socio-political landscape. On the obverse, we see a left-facing bust of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, designed by John R. Sinek. Then chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, Roosevelt's image symbolizes strength, courage, and the legacy of leadership during two of America's greatest crises, the Great Depression and World War II. Above his head is the word liberty, placed prominently to reaffirm the coin's national values. To the lower left of the portrait appears the national motto, In God We Trust. And just below the neckline, the date 1969, accompanied by a mint mark, either D for Denver, no mint mark for Philadelphia, or S for San Francisco. Beneath Roosevelt's neckline are the initials JS, representing the coin's designer, John Sick, symbolizing freedom and enlightenment, flanked on either side by an olive branch piece on the left and an oak branch, strength and independence, on the right. This classic trio represents the American spirit, peaceful yet resilient and unwavering in its liberty. Encircling the design are the inscriptions United States of America along the top, E pluribus unum in the center, Latin for out of many, one, and one dime at the bottom. This reverse, also designed by Sinek, has remained largely unchanged since 1946, a testament to its iconic balance of symbolism and simplicity. Despite its minimal face value, the dime plays a significant role in U.S. currency circulation and serves as a symbol of consistency in design philosophy throughout modern American history. From a technical standpoint, the 1969 Roosevelt dime was struck in the clad composition introduced just 4 years earlier in 1965. When the U.S. Mint eliminated silver from most circulating coinage due to the rising cost of precious metals. Thus, the 1969 dime consists of a core of pure copper bonded to outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel, weighs 2.27 grams, has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, and features a retted edge 118 tiny grooves, meant both for anti-counterfeiting and tactile recognition. Although it retains the same general appearance as earlier 90% silver dimes, this clad version does not contain silver and is non-magnetic. Still, some 1969 dimes may appear silvery or gray, especially when uncirculated or lightly worn, leading casual collectors to mistake them for silver issues. These coins mark the early years of full-clad coinage, which changed the feel, tone, and weight of American money in the hands of citizens. When it comes to mintages, the numbers vary based on location. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 145 million 1969 dimes, while Denver struck around 563 million, making the Denver minted coins significantly more common in circulation. The San Francisco Mint, on the other hand, issued the 1969S proof Roosevelt dime, a special collector version not released into circulation. These proof coins were struck with specially polished dies on planchettes, giving them mirrored fields and frosted design elements. The 1969S proof dime was included in the U.S. mint proof sets of that year, and nearly 3 million were minted. Though common, these coins are highly sought after in PR69, PR70 Deep Cameo DCAM grades, where values can reach $5 to $25 or more, especially in certified holders from PCGS or NGC. In terms of collectability, most 1969 dimes in circulated condition hold only face valued in cents, due to their high mintage and wide availability. However, collectors hunt for high-grade uncirculated examples that exhibit strong strikes. Full detail, and especially the elusive full bands FB designation on the reverse torch. Full bands means that the horizontal lines on the torch are fully separated and visible, an indication of a sharp high-pressure strike. Coins graded MS65 or higher with full bands can sell for $10 to $50, depending on the market and the mint. The Denver coins tend to show stronger strikes than Philadelphia, but high-end examples from either location remain collectible. The 1969's proof dimes, especially in deep cameo finish, are also collectible as part of complete proof sets or standalone certified pieces. One important note for collectors is to avoid confusion with a very rare and valuable error from 1969, the 1969S Lincoln cent with a double die averse, which can be worth thousands. While no known major doubled die Roosevelt dimes exist for 1969, it's always worth examining coins for minor errors like clipped planchets, or center strikes, or die cracks, which can add value and excitement to a collection. While such errors are uncommon, they can make even a common date coin, like the 1969 dime, worth significantly more if authenticated by a trusted grading service. Historically, the 1969 Roosevelt dime also reflects the culture of its time. It circulated during the height of the Vietnam War, a period of intense political activism, technological innovation, and social change. The Nixon presidency had just begun, and the U.S. was on the cusp of the moon landing in July of that same year. While the coin bears no commemorative marks, it remains a silent witness to a pivotal time in American and global history. From the hands of factory workers to students, servicemen, and homemakers, the 1969 dime traveled widely and took part in the economic engine of an era marked by both turbulence and triumph. In summary, the 1969 Roosevelt dime is a durable and symbolic piece of American currency. Though common in circulation and modest in market value, it reflects a significant moment in U.S. numismatic and political history when silver was no more, and America was rapidly modernizing, whether kept for its symbolism, collected in pristine condition, or studied for its transitional design. This dime endures. Its classic portrait of Roosevelt reminds us of leadership and resolve, while its absolutely. Here's a detailed, long-form paragraph-style explanation of the 1967 United States Roosevelt dime, including its full history, design features, metal content, production context, and collector interest. This content is ideal for a 10-minute script, a YouTube narration, or an in-depth educational resource. The 1967 Roosevelt dime, minted in the United States and bearing the inscriptions "Liberty, in God We Trust, United States of America, e pluribus unum," and one dime, stands as a representative of a pivotal time in modern American numismatics. Though it may appear ordinary to the untrained eye, this coin is a symbol of national transition, both politically and monetarily. The 1967 dime was struck during a turbulent era marked by the Vietnam War, the Civil Rights Movement, and deep national reflection, and its production tells a story that goes beyond just currency. Like all Roosevelt dimes issued since 1946, this coin honors Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, whose leadership during the Great Depression and World War II left a lasting legacy. The obverse front features a left-facing profile of Roosevelt, designed by John Arsenic, the U.S. Mint's chief engraver at the time of the coin's original release. Surrounding his portrait are the inscriptions Liberty across the top left, In God We Trust beneath the chin, in 1967 to the right. At the base of Roosevelt's neck are the small initials JS, representing the designer, a detail that once sparked conspiracy theories during the Cold War, but is simply an artist's signature. The reverse of the coin, also designed by Sinnock, features three powerful symbols: a torch representing liberty in the center, flanked by an olive branch on the left for peace, and an oak branch on the right for strength and independence. These symbols are surrounded by the inscriptions United States of America at the top and one dime at the bottom, with the Latin motto E pluribus unum, out of many, one written horizontally across the base of the torch. This timeless design, clean and loaded with meaning, has remained largely unchanged since the series' debut. The reverse reminds us that the coin isn't just a denomination. It is a compact piece of symbolic language that represents the very principles upon which the United States was built. One of the most important aspects of the 1967 Roosevelt dime is its metal composition and minting context. The coin was struck during the Coinage Act adjustment period following the passage of the Coinage Act of 1965, which removed silver from most U.S. coinage, including the dime, quarter, and half dollar. Prior to 1965, Roosevelt dimes were composed of 90% silver and 10% copper. But from 1965 onward, including 1967, they were struck with a clad composition, featuring outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This modern sandwich-style structure made the coins more economical to produce in large quantities, especially in light of rising silver prices. The coin weighs 2.7 grams, measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge, which prevents coin shaving and also aids the visually impaired. What makes the 1967 dime especially unique is that it was struck during a 3-year period, 1965-1967, when the U.S. Mint suspended the use of mint marks on all coins. This move was part of a federal effort to prevent coin hoarding, which had become widespread when the U.S. removed silver from coinage. Without mint marks, it is impossible to determine from which mint Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco a 1967 dime originated, unless it is a special mint set SMS coin, which has distinct characteristics. There were no proof sets produced in 1967 either. Instead, the mint issued special mint sets to satisfy collectors. These SMS coins, which were only sold to collectors in sealed U.S. Mint packaging, are not quite proof, but were struck with higher quality than normal business strikes, showcasing sharper detail, smoother surfaces, and sometimes light cameo contrast. These sets were struck in San Francisco and are identified more by their finish than a mint mark. In terms of mintage, over 2.24 billion 1967 Roosevelt dimes were produced for general circulation, making them extremely common. Circulated examples are typically worth only face valued in cents and less. They possess a high grade or come from a special mint set. The SMS dimes, while still affordable, are more collectible and often sell for $1 to $5, depending on condition. However, high-grade SMS coins with cameo or deep cameo finishes, certified by grading services such as PCGS or NGC, can fetch significantly more $10 to $50 or higher, especially in SP67 to SP69 condition with strong contrast and minimal marks. Regular business strike coins in MS65 or above can also be valuable to collectors seeking a full unbroken date run of the Roosevelt dime series, though there are no major known varieties or era types tied specifically to the 1967 Roosevelt dime. The coin still holds importance for collectors focusing on the clad transition period. Occasional minor errors, like clipped planchettes, off-center strikes, or die cracks, do appear from this year and can be of interest to specialists in minting anomalies. However, their values vary widely depending on severity and visibility. Additionally, the 1967 dime remains an essential entry in any typeset, date set, or Roosevelt Dime Series collection, as it is part of the short list of coins from the unique no mint mark years. Historically,
Day-night dime.
is the 1967 dime also reflects the social atmosphere of the time. It circulated during the height of the Vietnam War, a year after Martin Luther King Jr.'s historic Chicago March, just a year before the assassinations of MLK and Robert F. Kennedy. It was the era of Lyndon B. Johnson's presidency, the Civil Rights Act, and sweeping societal reforms. While the coin itself is not commemorative, its everyday presence in the pockets of Americans during such a volatile and transformative period makes it a silent witness to a pivotal era in American history. In conclusion, the 1967 Roosevelt dime may be modest in size and common in quantity, but it's rich in historical context and technical significance. It marks a time of monetary transformation, collector frustration, and a nation in flux. Its lack of mint mark makes it distinctive. Its special mint set versions offer quality and collectability, and its symbolism remains timeless. Whether found in a pocket, a coin jar, or a collector's album, the 1967 dime is more than small change. It is a tangible reminder of the values, challenges, and shifts of mid-20th century America, enduring one dime at a time. Would you like this rewritten as a YouTube voiceover script? Or shall I do the next year, 1968 Roosevelt?